What, me? Worry? Yes, of course I'm worried. Mad Magazine's going away. Welcome back to the Junk Lair, guys. It's me, the Junk Man, come back at you with a whole new video. Woo! First up, what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to say goodbye to Alfred E. Neuman. You know Alfred E. Neuman? The face you've seen a million times on Mad Magazine. That's right. Can you believe it? Mad Magazine is going away. In August, their last issue, issue number 10, will be their final original comic. Now, they said they're going to do reprints with new covers throughout the year. And you know, that's probably not going to last much longer till they're gone. I mean, you can't be really that shocked. I mean, when's the last time you bought a Mad Magazine, honestly? Or when's the last time you saw a kid reading a Mad Magazine? I can't tell you when. It's been a long time. I have 2 kids and never seen them once care about Mad Magazine. But for many of you that grew up in the 70s and the 80s, I think 80s is when they really hit their stride, Mad Magazine was a must read. You had to have Mad Magazine. Now I remember back in the 70s getting a Star Wars issue. No shock there. Junkman, did you ever not like Star Wars? Yes, before 1977. But anyway, I remember getting the Star Wars issue. Can't remember what they called it. They always gave the titles a wacky name. And don't remember much about it. I haven't read it since way back then. And I need to go back and read it again. But I fell in love with magazine. I fell in love with Mad Magazine. It was just so wacky and crazy. Of course, at that age, I really fell in love with Spy versus Spy. And when I hit the 80s, is when I really started to buy Mad Magazine. First, I wouldn't buy it. I would just see it at the grocery store or newsstand and sit there and read it while my parents shopped and bought groceries. But then, with my own money, especially if it had a really good cover on it from a movie I like or a TV show, I would buy Mad Magazine. Oh, I remember buying this magazine when I could hardly read. I know what you're thinking. You think, Junkman, you probably can't read now. Well, I read a little better than I did back then. But I remember I could read. I couldn't read great, but I remember looking through it and just looking at these pictures were great back in Mad Magazine. And I bought them for the movie parodies, but I really didn't care about the movie parodies as much when I bought the magazine. It was the fake phony ads that I loved and some of the other segments like Spy versus Spy. Spy versus Spy, the classic, it kind of became so well known, people don't even think of it as Mad Magazine. I mean, it became known outside of just Mad Magazine, which is great. And there was other columns I loved, like the lighter side of. Now, a lot of times I didn't get these, and I bet if I went back and read these magazines now, I bet I would get these lighter sides of a lot better than I did back then. And then there was, of course, the fold-in at the end of the magazine. I love that. On the back page, you would fold the page, you would take one picture, fold it, and make another picture. It was great. I used to try to make them myself at school. You know, when the teacher was teaching, I would sit there and try to make my own. I would fold the paper, draw the picture, unfold it, and then try to make another picture out of that. Never worked, at least not as good as Mad Magazine did it. And Mad Magazine wasn't just a magazine because I was at a neighbor's house, probably early 80s. I've talked about this guy before. He was a little older than all of us. Well, a lot older. He's probably late 20s, 30s. He serviced arcade games, which meant in his basement at his house, he had a basement full of arcade games that he would rotate, arcade and pinball machines. So you never knew what you got to play or what machine he had that month. So that was pretty fun. You got to play some arcade games for free. But he had a bunch of old stuff in his basement, and I went through this book cabinet and found a Mad Magazine book. And I was like, what, they made a Mad Magazine book? Well, yes, they did. And it was called Snappy Answers to Stupid Questions, or something close to that. I should have looked it up first. Snappy Answers to Stupid Questions, or Stupid Answers to Stupid Questions. Something, you know what I mean. I'm going to put a picture up of it, but something like that. I think it's Snappy Answers to Stupid Questions. And what it was is you got probably one panel, maybe two. Let's say a guy walking in through his house and he's all wet. Of course, you can tell it's been raining. There's lightning in the background. Out the window, it's raining and everything. And the wife says, honey, is it raining? And then he would have a stupid comment like, no, the dog peed on me, or something like that. Then it would have 4 or 5 columns that were empty, and you got to make your own Mad Magazine. You got to put your own answers in, and it was a lot of fun. I wish I could find that book now to see what I wrote for these answers. it would have been, it's probably be funny to read. I bet they're not funny at all. But I didn't know they made a Mad Magazine book. I don't know when that book came out, but I couldn't believe that I found it and I loved it. But Mad Magazine, I love this. And I did a whole video on the Mad Magazine board game in the 80s. It's kind of like Monopoly, but you have to lose your money instead of winning your money. Check out that video. Not many people did. But check it out. I love the Mad Magazine game. But I don't really have a lot to say about this, but I'm just kind of sad that kids will not grow up on Mad Magazine, although they kind of probably stopped growing up on it a long time ago. I know when my son was little, or maybe it was my daughter was little, I was going to buy Mad Magazine just to kind of let them see if they thought it was funny and look at it. And this was probably mid-2000s, first time I've looked at one in years, and I was kind of shocked and let down. Mad Magazine was in color. Just didn't seem right. It felt like a magazine. The quality wasn't the same. And worst of all, they had ads in them. Now, I'm sure they had to put ads in them. It's not something they wanted to do. It's something they felt they needed to do. But it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem right. A Mad Magazine in color and with ads. Just seemed kind of odd to me. But again, I don't have a lot to say about this. I just thought, I know a lot of you guys probably grew up on Mad Magazine. I didn't know if you heard the news or not yet. So I kind of just wanted to do something about this and tell you what, let's look at some of the great covers. There have been some great covers of Mad Magazines over the years. So let's look at a few of them now. Man, I'm gonna miss that gap-toothed idiot, Alfred E. Newman. What a great run of comics. I can't imagine my life being the same without reading Mad Magazine growing up. So in the comments below, let me know, did you read Mad Magazine? Did you like Mad Magazine? Did you just hate it and never get it? Were you more of a Cracked fan? I never read Cracked Magazine. I've heard some good things about it, but to me, it was always about Mad Magazine, not Cracked or whatever. National Lampoon was another one. It was all about Mad Magazine to me. That's the only one I wanted. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about Mad Magazine. And maybe some of your fond memories, or maybe the cover you like best. Let me know below. And as always, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button so I know you like my content. And most of all, YouTube knows you like my content. And support this channel by buying a cool shirt like this Space Giants t-shirt at thatjunkman.com, or head over to Patreon to support the channel. Links up there or in the description below. Again, thank you all for watching. Be back very soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.